Spurs win! Spurs win! Welcome back, Spurs fans, to the Hepler Football Channel. Today we're doing our post-match ponderings where we're going to discuss the recent match between Man City and Tottenham on the 15th of August to open up the Premier League season for 21-22. Very good match. So we're going to go through, talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to ponder upon those things which we thought happened throughout this match. Right now, Spurs are sitting 10th place after this match. We obviously beat Man City 1-0. We're only in 10th place because of goal differential. Right now, there's 10 teams with 3 points. Rather uniquely, there were no draws this weekend in the Premier League. So you had 10 winners, 10 losers. So we're only behind on goal differential by 3 points from first place. So an excellent start to the season for the Spurs. And wow, what a start. As we go through this, let me know what you all think. Put your comments down in the comments below. If you have any thoughts on what I say or what my thoughts are, let's have a conversation. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, support the channel. I'd appreciate that. And, hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up on this video or let me know what I can do better. If you don't think it's a good video, give me some comments, give me some good feedback to help me out here. So, this was a great win for the Spurs starting off the season. We got off to a great start last year. We were first place going into the middle of December, actually, last year. So, getting off to a good start is good for us. A new coach, some new players, a new system. So we'll we'll talk about all that here in a minute. One thing to take note of is, Nuno started, Dyer and Sanchez in the center back, which was arguably one of the more nervy pairings in last season. So, and what we do here, if you haven't been through one of these before, is we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly throughout the match. Of course, good is things that we thought happened well. It can be players, tactics, substitutions, whatever. So we got things we'll talk about that are good. Then we're going to talk about the bad, which bad's kind of middle of the road, just nothing great, no outstanding. Maybe just, didn't quite meet up to that level of good. And then ugly. Ugly's just things were bad, something happened, player was bad, tactics were bad, some things went bad within the match. So those are the segments we're going to talk about here. So we're going to start off pondering upon the good. And to start off with, my first good is Nuno. Nuno did an excellent job with this match in the way that he set up the team. With his formation, the tactics, he was in a 4-3-3, which is something that we rarely see Tottenham in. And I think it actually worked really well in compressing that midfield, and especially straight through the middle, and made it very difficult on Man City to maneuver the ball the way they usually like to do. We were kind of saying, all right, you can go out our flanks, but guess what? We've got our outside backs there waiting for you. So I think we did a really good job compressing that midfield, making sure they couldn't just work through the middle like they do against a lot of teams. And something that really was good too is Nuno obviously has gotten this team in some condition. So the team looked, at least the ones that were out there, they looked like they could go the whole match. They didn't look fatigued. They didn't drop off in intensity at any point. They had the same intensity pretty much throughout the entire match. And that was nice to see from our team for a change. The team was fighting for each other. They were defending from the front throughout the entire match, rather than just in pieces. And so that was a huge thing I think Nuno did. Put in a good squad, people that would work hard, and get the result that we needed. Made it difficult, extremely difficult on Man City. So very good starting for Nuno. Be interesting to see what he does going forward. Is this how he's going to play every match. Is he going to kind of, give up a lot of possession? We only had about 34% possession, the third. But, it worked. It did well. And to me, it was a lot different than when Mourinho liked to park the bus, because we were looking to be aggressive and we were looking for opportunities. Whenever Mourinho would park the bus, this is what we're doing. We're not looking to get out or get going or make a threatening play at all. So the way that this was set up, Nuno allowed the players to interchange a lot. There's a lot of flow and maneuverability and movement within the positions, especially up front within those front three. The next good I'm going to talk about is Tanganga, my man of the match. As far as I'm concerned, he had more positive tick marks as I watched the match over any other player on Tottenham. Now, it could be argued that maybe some other players, that were involved in the goal or assist could be, or the link-up play for that could be part of that man of the match. But he did what he did previously last season in our first meeting against Man City. He shut down their threatening offensive prowess that they have. Sterling. Last season it was Sterling and Foden. This season, starting off it's Sterling and Grealish. And Mendy was trying to push up that wing, but it just was not working. Jaffet was a wall, and that's what we needed. I talked about it in my preview ponderings that Jaffet had to be the guy to start at right back. And I think he's kind of put it out there, hey, I'm the guy here. You're going to have to find someone significant to replace me, because Doherty and Aurier just can't do it. And for us to be successful, we're going to have to hold teams off. We can't allow them to bomb on us like we did all season last season. It's just not going to work. We're going to give up too many goals. And I think that was an excellent job Tanganga did. He was poised. He was aggressive. He just did not give an inch. And he was not backing down. He didn't care what the name was on the back of the shirt that he was playing against, whether it was Sterling or Grealish, these superstars of the Premier League and, of the England team. He didn't care. He said, this is my area and I'm going to own it. And he did. And that was amazing. Just loved it. He has the pace out there to run people down. He has the strength. He manhandled Sterling on a regular basis out there. And even Grealish, who's a pretty strong player, especially on the ball, had a difficult time working against Tanganga. And it was very, very impressive and good to see him out there. First game out, in that we didn't end up loaning him out to to the Turkish team Galatasaray. I mean, this is huge for us. I think we have a solid right back. I know he's a center back right back combo, but right now he's our best right back option. No question, bar none. You can't argue it. My third positive is Mora. I thought Mora had an outstanding match. He could arguably be a man of the match. He was very aggressive and actually pretty decisive on the ball for a change. There's been a lot of times I've been critical of him being very indecisive and hanging on to the ball too long and just dribbling into nothing. Where this match, he was decisive and aggressive and they just couldn't handle him. And one thing he did real well was flow in and out from the middle to the wing, from the in and out of that spot, not just be a stagnant winger where it was easy to mark him. And he did an excellent job. He was also very aggressive in the in getting after the ball, trying to win the ball back, pushing from the front, and very good job there. I thought he had a lot of good link-up play with Bergwijn and Son, and even Højbjerg on that outside, that because Højbjerg was kind of on the right outside out there. But I thought that was excellent job by Mora out there today. And I'd like to see more of that. Not necessarily that he's a central midfielder, but that there's that fluidity and flowing within the midfield and the front three, that it's not such a stagnant and static build-up for us. it's something that's fluid and changing, which makes it very difficult on other defenses. And you could see that their defense was having a little bit of trouble, even without having Kane in there as a hold-up man or distribution man. They were having some difficulty in dealing with Song and Bergwijn and Lucas pushing hard and flowing in and out of each other and each other's positions. It was great to see some fluidity within the offense for a change. My third positive, or excuse me, my fourth, because this is my fourth one, so is the defense. The defense played well. Sanchez actually had the second most positive actions for the defense, next to Tanganga, of course. But he also had the most negative actions of anyone on the defense. He definitely had a strong game. It's just, it still leaves you a little weary. As far as Dyer and Reguilon, nothing outstanding. They, no standout moments for me, but, they were solid. They did what they had to do. Going forward, my concern with Dyer and Sanchez specifically is what are they going to do? How are they going to hold up against legitimate center forwards and strikers? Where Man City, they still don't have a center forward or striker, a established one. They still play with the false nine, even with the Torres in there. And it was their weakest position on the field completely, that center forward. So Dyer Sanchez didn't have a lot that was challenging them. In the way that Nuno set up the team also, the midfield protected those two center backs extensively. That whole setup, the way that Nuno set the midfield and the forwards to be very narrow, made it so that those two center backs specifically were protected to the nth degree. Now, if Nuno decides to open up things a little bit, how are those two going to handle that if there's a little more free-flowing movement through that middle and where they can go in on those center backs and or a strong center forward? How are they going to hold up against that? So it's going to be interesting to see over the next, I'll probably give them a few games here, see how it hashes out beyond this conference league game coming up on Thursday, like the Premier League games. See how it hashes out. Is this really a change in the Dyer Sanchez that we know? Are they turning a corner and actually becoming viable options? I still don't think them as a pairing is our best pairing. I think, of course, Romero's going to be one of those that needs to be in there. Rodon, I still think, is far better than these two, even on a bad day for Rodon. His football intelligence just far exceeds Sanchez and Dyer, in my opinion. So, it's going to be interesting how Nuno plays this out. So those are my goods. So we went through the goods. So now we're in the bad. So let me know what you think the good points in this match were. And as we're going through these bad, let me know what your bads are. What you think happened. What we need to work on. What's bad. What we need to improve on. I only have one bad, and it's not terrible. It wasn't, egregious or anything like that. It's just my bad is Dele Alli. He has that. There's a stat running around that he traveled the most or covered the most ground of any Spurs player, something like 11 kilometers or whatever. But for me, they were very unproductive yards that he was just running around, kind of like we see with Lucas a lot of times, just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Ali's whatever tracking back or forward or whatever Ali was doing to gain that yardage or kilometers, it was not productive. It didn't provide anything offensively, in my opinion. He didn't provide much of anything defensively for us. We could have got a lot more out of someone else being out there, in my opinion. Someone like Lo Celso, or Indomiti's not even an option at this point, obviously. But I don't think we got the most out of that position. Like I said, he didn't do anything bad, detrimental, that caused issues or anything. He just didn't do anything. There was no I think we could have actually put more pressure on him by having someone that was more active and productive in that position. But that's just me. Hey, like I said, not a terrible game, but hey, there's not the worst, definitely not the worst that we've seen from Ali in the last 3.5 years. But also, I hear a lot of people saying Ali had a good game. Well, he didn't have a good game. He just didn't have a bad game. And when we're looking at players, especially ones that have, done real well in the past, but now they didn't for a long time, and now they're kind of not doing as bad as they have been. Just because they do better than not bad doesn't mean they had a good game. We can't lower the bar for them to allow them to be shown as positive. It's not something that we can do. And then, so that's all my bad. So let me know what you think. And then the ugly, I have none. There's no ugly in this match. It was a great win, great team win. And we haven't seen that in a long time from the Spurs playing as a team for the entirety of a match. Some interesting things, while we did only have the ball a third of the time, we had, as many shots on goal as they did. We, had a number of offsides, which tells me that we were actually pushing into their back line a number of times and being threatening. So, the numbers don't tell the whole story, I think, in a lot of cases with stats and stuff, but I think we played our best game in quite a while. So, with all that being said, we got some matches coming up. We got the Europa Conference League on Thursday. I'm not sure that I'm able to watch that here in the United States, so I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to see that. But looking into that, a lot of good out of this match. Nuno, Tanganga, Mora, and just the defense as a whole. Of course, the bad had his Dele and no ugly. So let me know what you all think, and let's hope we take this momentum and keep working and keep building on it and keep working. I like what Nuno is doing within the team. Obviously, it looks like that he's building a team, not so much just some individuals out there. And that's definitely something positive, I think, for us going forward. And whatever happens with Harry, it's going to happen, and we can't do anything about it, on our end. We can just, hope the best situation comes out of it for us. And let's see what happens in the Conference League match on Thursday, and then go out and see what we can do against the Wolves. Come on, you Spurs.